Now, I'm seeing an awful lot of anxiety right now in the last couple of days leading up to No King's Day. People are getting pretty freaked out. And I just want to help you take the temperature down a little bit. So if you are somebody that's heard some pretty scary news over the last couple of days, you are hearing rumors swirling, and you're really worried about whether No King's Day is going to be safe, whether Donald Trump is going to try and invoke the Insurrection Act. Sorry, y'all, my house is tiny and the doors are loud. Could you hang out with me for a few minutes while I talk us through the regime disasters? Trump has said it's up to the state. Result in people not being properly notified. There are not enough people to do the job. Quoting from the Texas Tribune from today, local and state officials were quick to point to weather forecasters that did not accurately predict the intensity of rainfall. I get that people are lashing out right now because they are sad, they are grieving, they are frustrated. I get that Texas officials are lashing out because they don't want to face responsibility for this. It's not their fault, but likewise, it is not the fault of the National Weather Service. It is the fault of Donald Trump and Elon Musk and the Republicans. When we see more Americans dying because they are not getting adequate notification, adequate warning, in advance of these natural disasters.
Day 2 Convective Outlook. NWS Storm Prediction Center, Norman, Oklahoma. 0100 MCDT, Friday, October 17, 2025. Valid 1812000Z19120Z. ... There is a slight risk of severe thunderstorms from the Arklatex to the central Mississippi and lower Ohio valleys. ... Summary. Scattered severe thunderstorms are possible Saturday across Carson, the Arklatex, Ozarks, Mississippi and lower Ohio valleys. Damaging winds, a few tornadoes and hail are possible. Synopsis. The broad upper front over the central U.S. is forecast to weaken. Throughout Saturday, several peripheral shortwave features coalesce over the central MS Valley. The most prominent of these features will start the period over the southern Rockies before changing with the broader trough across the southern plains Saturday night. A powerful 100-plus KT mid-level jet exiting the central Rockies high plains will round the base of the consolidated trough, helping to rapidly weaken the surface low over the O Valley and lower Great Lakes. A cold front with strong southerly flow after this will sweep eastward from the over Mega Siemens valleys into the Mississippi. Overnight supporting scattered to numerous thunderstorms. Ohio Valley to the Ozarks. This level or sense an embedded perturbation will expand over that. Slow-moving cold front initially positioned from the Ozarks to that. Lower Great Lakes and O Valley on Saturday. Slow winds allow for substantial moistening as low to mid-60s F surface. Dew points move northward across Mobile into western KY and Owen. Eventually lower MI. Continued low-level warm advection should result in scattered to numerous thunderstorms along the front by mid-afternoon into the evening, while buoyancy should be limited. 501,000 J per kilogram, owing to increasing storm coverage and cloud cover. Elongated mid-upper level photographs with largely unidirectional shear will favor some potential for organized short line segments. This activity should generally become more organized into the afternoon-evening as the cold front strengthens and surges eastward, as the upper trough and surface low organize. This will support a risk for damaging gusts and Day 2 convective outlook. Public Law 106 to 402, October 30, 2000, Sec. 155. Definition. Sec. 156. Authorization of appropriations. Subtitle E. Projects of National Significance. NWS Storm Prediction Center, Norman, Oklahoma. 0100 MCDT, Friday, October 17, 2025. Valid 1812000Z19120Z. There is a slight risk of severe thunderstorms from the Arklatex to the central Mississippi and lower Ohio valleys. Summary. Scattered severe thunderstorms are possible Saturday across parts of the Arklatex, Ozarks, mid-Mississippi and lower Ohio valleys. Damaging winds. A few tornadoes and hail are possible. Synopsis. A broad upper trough over the central U.S. is forecast to deepen throughout Saturday as several peripheral shortwave features coalesce over the central MS Valley.
Good morning, everybody.
The most prominent of these
My Uber has
features
arrived,
will
and we're
start
heading
the
down to New
period
Brunswick.
over the southern Rockies before
Down there, that's in
fading
between
with
Austin
the
and San
broader
Antonio,
trough
and we are
across
coming
the
down there in
southern
the Dominator
plains
3
Saturday
with the team. We're going to talk
night.
about the
A
art of the
powerful
tornado intercept
100
and the
plus
scientific data that
KT
we've collected.
mid-level
And this
jet
is going to be an
exiting the
inspirational,
central
heart-pounding evening for all
Rockies
ages.
high
The ticket
plains
link
will
is in
round
the
the
description
base of of
right
the
here, and we are getting
consolidated
ready to head
crop,
south to New Braunfels, Texas, and then
helping
we
to
head to
rapidly
Lubbock,
deepen the
Texas this
surface
weekend
flow
for a
over
speaking
the
event. And
Oak
all of this in
Valley
the
and
midst of an
lower
uptick of severe weather
Great
that is
Lakes.
happening. It looks like
A
eastern
cold
Oklahoma
front
into
with
Arkansas,
strong
possibly up into southern
southerly
Illinois.
flow
Could
ahead
have
of
severe
it
weather, all
will
hazards
sweep
possible,
eastward
including the
from
threat
the
of
Ophir Mega
tornadoes,
Siemens
especially
valleys
Saturday
into the
afternoon and evening.
mid-south.
We're going to be watching that very closely
Overnight
as well.
supporting
Live storm tree
scattered
smoke
to
could be
numerous
activated at any second.
thunderstorms.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to our Heart Pocket evening
Ohio
tonight
Valley
at
to
New
the
Braunfels,
Ozarks.
Texas. Never stop
His
chasing.
level ascent
And I'll
with
just
an
kind of
embedded
reorient.
perturbation
You know by
will
now that the
expand
regime
over
has
the
nothing left but
slow-moving
propaganda
cold
game.
front
Right.
initially
They want to try and
positioned from
convince
the
you to
Ozarks
give
to
up, to
the
lay down, to go
lower
cower
Great
in your
Lakes to
house,
No
to
Valley
hand over
early
your rights. They want you
Saturday.
to be afraid to
Southerly flow
exercise your
will
constitutional
allow for
rights. Actions that
substantial
you wouldn't have thought
moistening
twice
of
about
low
a
to
year ago, you're
mid-60s
now
at
afraid to
surface.
step out and engage in because the
Viewpoints
regime
move
has tried to scare
northward
you
across
shitless. All they
Mobile
have are threats and
into western
intimidation. They don't actually have the will, the
KYNO
control of the military, the consent
eventually
of the
lower
populace. They
MI.
don't have the
Continues
capability
the
to
level
stop
warm
us as long as we keep resisting and insisting that
result in
America
scattered
become
to
a
numerous
democracy once again.
thunderstorms
They have to
along the
rely
front
on
by
you giving
mid
up. That is
afternoon
something that
into the
requires far less
evening.
expenditure
While
of
buoyancy
energy
should
and
be
coordination
limited,
on their part. And if they can just get you to give up
J
on
per
their own,
kilogram,
then they don't have
owing
to
to
deal with
increasing
massive
storm
resistance.
coverage
The more
and
they try and
cloud
brutalize and
cover.
oppress us, the more extreme and
Elongated
totalitarian their actions, the
mid-upper-level
more resistance
photographs,
against them builds, and the more
largely
people try to push
unidirectional.
back. So like
Here
they
will
want to have to
favor
engage
some
in those actions,
potential
first of all,
for
because it's hard for them to
organized
find
short
willing
line
participants.
segments.
I believe we just had
This
another high-ranking
activity
military
should
official who
generally
resigned today.
become more
Well, first of all, it's
organized
far
into
easier for like Kristi Noem to
afternoon
slap on her
evening as the
caterpillar
cold
eyelashes
front
and film some
strengthens
propaganda videos
and
than
surges
to try and get
eastward
the
as
military to
the upper
agree to
trough
fire
and
on American
surface will
citizens. So we're
organize.
at this moment right now
This will
where their
support
propaganda has
at
reached a
risk
fever
for
pitch. They are
damaging
scared
gusts
shitless
and
about No King's Day. They do not want the world to see that millions and millions and millions of Americans are deeply opposed to what's happening. They do not want a visible show of public opposition from huge quantities of Americans from every corner of this country, because not only is that something that is going to make those pillars of support start to quake, like, oh, okay, maybe we hitched our wagon to something that wasn't maybe we hitched our wagon to an absolute dud. We should stop betting on Trump like he's a sure thing. He tells us that the people are behind him. We can see in the streets that the people clearly aren't. Right? Trump doesn't have a mandate from the people. He does not have the consent of the governed. He is not a legitimate ruler of this country. And No King's Day is just like an incredibly visible reminder of that. Plus, it also is a big morale boost for everybody, right? Millions of us coming together in solidarity. And this is one of the steps in us aggregating our power. Help people level up to more complicated acts of nonviolent resistance that are going to be more effective at eroding those pillars of support and weakening the regime. They don't want us doing any of that shit. They are really, really scared. That's why Mike Johnson is consistently crashing out, trying to claim that it's a hate America rally, which is just so embarrassing. Like, they have to resort to the most embarrassing, easily disproven rhetoric. It's like, okay, you say it's a hate America rally? Cool. We will all now be showing up with American flags and Lady Liberty plastered all over our bodies because we love the Constitution. We love our civil liberties. We are really proud of our country, and we are proud to live in a democracy, and we want one once again. Like, fuck you, it's a hate America rally. No. Every time the regime does something, it creates a chance for us to act in response. It creates a chance for us to invoke a backlash against them. It creates a chance for us to get control of the messaging and make them look like the fools that they are. I was going to play some clips of Mike Johnson. I just don't give a shit. I don't want to hear him. Just understand he's freaking out. They all are. They're saying really scary things. We keep hearing these whispers of the Insurrection Act, and I agree with Heather Cox Richardson. I haven't actually seen the regime talking about it as much as I have seen reporters asking Trump about it. The question there is, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Who are you working for? What arm of the propaganda wing of state-controlled media are you working for? Why do you keep bringing up the Insurrection Act? Because you know it freaks people out. You know that the American people get real amped up about it. And this is actually addressed in the Indivisible What's the Plan called earlier today. Like what happens if he invokes the Insurrection Act? And Leah has always had a very measured answer, just really, really thoughtful. Well, it depends on the timing of it. If he invokes it before No King's Day, well, that means we definitely have to all get out in the streets, right? There's no rebellion, there's no riot, there's nothing that would justify Trump's invocation of the Insurrection Act. We are all showing up and engaging in perfectly legal, constitutionally protected speech. We are nonviolent. We are absolutely engaging in legal behaviors. We have nothing to be afraid of. So we're going to go ahead and turn out in bigger numbers than ever. I guarantee you, if Trump tries to invoke the Insurrection Act tomorrow or the next day, he's going to see massive response. All that's going to do is motivate people to get out in the streets even more. I think everything we are watching the regime doing right now is having the opposite of their intended impact. They are trying to chill dissent, and we're like, okay, Donald Trump, you have turned every American into somebody with oppositional defiant disorder, specifically against you. You want us to be scared and stay home? No, we're going to be out in the streets. It's that DBT opposite action, right? Except it's not that my anxiety is telling me to stay home. Maybe this. Let me go back here for a second. Whether it's Donald Trump or your anxiety telling you to stay home, if your anxiety is telling you to stay home, that's because your anxiety is listening to Donald Trump. Your lizard brain is listening to Donald Trump. You don't want Donald Trump to control your actions. You don't want him to have a victory over you. Donald Trump wants you to do something, and you do the opposite. He wants you to stay home. We're out in the streets. He wants you to be afraid. We decide to find our courage. He wants you to cower and hand over your power. Fuck you, make me. This is my power. This is my country. Whose streets? Our streets. And I know I talked about this on Blue Sky, and I think my friend Charlotte and France has talked about this, and a number of other folks as well. There have been big fears out of every large protest we have had this year. People have been really freaked out that Trump was going to declare martial law, declare the Insurrection Act. Donald Trump was supposed to declare the Insurrection Act after April 5th, hands off. And it was going to happen on April 20th. And it was going to happen on Trump's birthday, No King's Day. We ruined Donald Trump's birthday. But no, the Insurrection Act did not get invoked. No martial law was not declared. Every protest we have had thus far has not resulted in people's worst fears being manifest. But I just want to remind you, check the facts. Often it really works. And, you know,
Subtitle E, Projects of National Significance. NWS Storm Prediction Center, Norman, Oklahoma. 0100 MCDT, Friday, October 17, 2025. Valid 18120Z19120Z. ... There is a slight risk of severe thunderstorms from the Arctic to the central Mississippi and lower Ohio valleys. ... Summary. Scattered severe thunderstorms are possible Saturday the Arctic, Ozarks, mid-Mississippi and lower Ohio Valley. Damaging winds, acute tornadoes and hail are possible. ... Synopsis. A broad upward knock over the central U.S. is forecast to deepen throughout Saturday as several peripheral shortwave features coalesce over the central MS Valley. The most prominent of these features which start to period over the southern Rockies before changing with the broader shock across the southern plains Saturday. Tonight, a powerful 100-plus kp mid-level jet exiting the central Rockies high plains will round the base of the consolidated helping to rapidly deepen the surface way over the Ur Valley and lower Great Lakes. A cold front with strong southerly flow ahead of it. The street research in the upper Medicine Valley into the north south. Overnight supporting scatters the numerous thunders of Ohio Valley to the Ozarks.
Dream on, Serena.
Mid-level expensive and embedded perturbation will expand over that. Slow-moving cold from the nuclear position for the Ozarks. Lower Great Lakes and Mill Valley within Saturday. Properly slow will allow for substantial moistening of low to mid-60s at surface. Dew points move northward across Mount Hill into western Carolina winds, eventually lower inland. Continue to level warm at Buxton Cliff, resulting scattered for numerous thunderstorms along the front by mid-afternoon into the evening, while buoyancy should be limited. 1,000 days per kilogram, owing to increasing storm coverage and cloud cover.
Use the samurai combination.
Elongated mid-upper level orograms with largely unidirectional. Here will favor some potential for organized short-line segments.
Let's get to work.
This activity should generally become more organized into the afternoon evening with cold front strengthens and surges.
Ready for a wagon ride?
As the upper stop and surface will organize. This will support a risk for damage induction.
Clawzord, we need to! Clawzord, transformation! Claw, Battlezord East! Ready! Perfect timing! Watch out! Incoming! Hang in there, guys! Jade, it's time to show them what the Bullzord can really do! Good idea. Let's up the ante, shall we? Hold it! Bullzord transformation! Full Megazord, armed for battle! Now let's show these creeps that we mean business. Get ready. Return to sender! Oh yeah, that's right. Fight fire with fire, baby. Come on, guys, let's finish this.
We're with you.
Claw to shreds! Revolving laser blaster! And that's how we rock and roll! Samurai Rangers, victory is ours.